ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another live stream Saturday. I hope you guys had a good week and that your weekend has started well as well. So now, setting up tonight's live stream was a little bit more straightforward, thankfully, than the last couple of live streams. It seems to be working, and I can see that the audio's fine and I can see myself on screen, which is a good thing in this sense of knowing that it's live, but not necessarily a good thing for me looking at myself, especially when I'm slightly delayed, because there's about a 10 or 15 second delay. So I think we are live. Hello to all of you in the live chat room. We are indeed plugged into the router, so hopefully we won't have any buffering issues like we had last week. And let me give you guys a shout out as you come into the live stream in the live chat room. It's moving a bit quickly, but we've had some comments. One of them is from Laugh Out Loud Can, then Bob, then Cindy, then Alison, then Pamela and Billy, Laura, Rose, JG Lewis, and Joe's in there as well. And we've got Orlando in the house, and Tammy there, Laura, Jennifer, Cindy, Laurie, Teresa. Hello, thank you for joining me tonight. And I mean, these live streams that we're doing in the other room while I'm sorting out, this is something that I'm going to achieve. I've set myself the target of achieving this by the end of the month. So we will be back to normal. But with so much going on, I think I have to set myself a deadline to finish lots of different jobs, to get everything sorted, so that, I mean, not that this live stream is bad in any way, it's just running through my laptop, and we still do exactly what we do in the normal live streams, including a fill jam. Apart from the last couple of live streams, we haven't had a fill jam, or was it just last time? I can't remember. But we're going to be attempting to hit the target tonight. And I'm kind of leaving it a little bit open as to what that target is going to be. Maybe I can get some input from you guys as to what the Fill Jam target should be for tonight. But let me get the names of my patrons up on screen, because they make this all possible in the first place. And thank you guys. You know who you are. They make everything possible that I do on the channel, my analysis videos, these live streams, of course, and the interviews and things that we've done in the past as well. So yeah, thank you everybody at the bottom of the screen. And for this particular piece of software, which is the same that I use on my other computer but running on the laptop, I think what it's done is it's organized all of the patrons' names in order of when they became a patron, from most recent to most far away, most distant, the most time in the past, most historic, maybe that's the best word for it. So is another element to the names going across the bottom of the screen. You can see that when it starts to get towards the end of the list, that those people have been here for literally years. So thank you guys for all of your support. It is very much appreciated. So now let's get the likes goal up on screen, because the other thing that I've done for tonight is I've moved where the screen is, where I look at or try to see, you know, what the likes goal is, and I've moved it from the top left to the bottom right. So I keep on looking in the wrong place to try and see what the target was, but I know that the target is just a question mark at the moment, because I'm going to leave it up to you guys to decide. So I can see that Jennifer said target 280. So that's the first bid that we've got for tonight's Fill Jam. If you guys want to just put a number in the live chat room, then we'll pick one out. I think the target we actually got really close to at the end of the last live stream, and that was 375. I think we got to 365 right at the end of the live stream, and the problem is that we have to finish at midnight, and so yeah, that's something that is set in stone because the moderators have other things to be doing. So with that, it means that if we do hit the target, but it's 16 or 17 minutes past and we're into overtime, then unfortunately we can't do anything about that. And we then try again at the next live stream. But of course, you guys in the catch-up crew, you can still hit the thumbs up because it really does help the live streams to get out there a little bit more. I can see that we've got quite a lot of people on the same wavelength of 300. So I think maybe 300 is what we will try and set this at. Now, what I'm going to have to try and do is edit this. And the other thing that I have done, oh, this is going to be troublesome. The other thing that I have done is turned down the brightness of my laptop to try and save some battery, because I kind of got a bit distracted earlier when I was setting everything up and forgot that I was just running on the battery, so we're down to 61%. But I'm going to turn up the brightness just so I can see what I'm typing in, and then we'll turn down the brightness because I hopefully won't need the screen anymore. So we're going to go for 300, and that should have edited it on screen, so now we'll know where we are. Let me change the brightness on this so that I can just about still see what's going on, but hopefully we'll save some battery. Right, now the other thing that we need to get up on screen is, well, the likeometer. We can jump into the stream settings and see what's going on there. We are at 179 likes so far. Well, that's a good start because it means we're over halfway already. And we're looking for 121 more people. So, 120 more people. If you can hit that thumbs up as you come through the door, that would be very much appreciated. And yeah, we'll see where we end up. It might be the case that we are busting out the guitar tonight because we are already getting close to 200. So the last thing to get up on screen is the donations tab, because as I always say, you don't have to donate, just watching is great. So thank you to everyone who does donate. It is very much appreciated, but of course not a necessity at all. For those people, I think it's important that they know between 45 and 60% goes to YouTube through the Super Chat window, and between 3 and 5% goes to PayPal through the PayPal link, which you can find in the description below. So yeah, I can see that there have been donations already, and I will just address the Super Chat donations and we'll get rid of the likeometer for the moment because we exit the stream settings to see the viewer activity, which is basically the Super Chat donations. I don't know why they don't call it Super Chat donations. Anyway, Angela donated $20, so thank you for that. And the message was, won't be able to make tonight's live stream unless a miracle happens. I spiked my like, have a great show tonight, and everyone spiked the like for a Phil Jam. So thank you for that, great idea. If you can hit the thumbs up, that would be very much appreciated. And Sue has donated $19.99. So thank you for that. And the message is, let's all spike our likes early. We need a Saturday night Phil Jam. So thank you for that. And it is indeed true. A Saturday night isn't a Saturday night without a Phil Jam. So Orlando's donated underneath this, and it's $2. So thank you for that. And the message was, rock the boat. Hit that like button. Great idea. And then donated again with $2 saying, will you keep up with the FIFA World Cup? So, yes, I am planning on keeping up with the FIFA World Cup as much as possible. It's a competition that only happens once every 4 years. So, obviously when it comes around, I try to watch as much as I can, because it's certainly a memory from my youth. The first World Cup I have a proper memory of, and actually watching a lot of it, was the 1994 World Cup. And I even had the computer game called the, well, it's FIFA, but it was the FIFA World, no it wasn't, it was, FIFA Road to the World Cup, because it had, I think for the first time, you went through the qualifying rounds to then try and qualify for the World Cup. And yeah, I played that game quite a lot. Obviously, I think if you looked back at it now, the graphics would be really bad, but it was amazing. Back in 1994. So yeah, that was the first World Cup. and that was in the USA as well. So there we go, we've gone full circle. We're about to be in the USA again for this World Cup. So yeah, there you go. I mean, with the first World Cup that I watched, my main memory of it was, I think that England weren't in it. I don't think England were actually in the 1994 World Cup, or were they? Oh, no, I think they were. So the reason that I was a bit confused about my memory is because I remember a goal by, I think, a guy called Ray Houghton, who played for the Republic of Ireland against Italy, and Italy were really good, so they weren't expected to do very well against them, but he kind of hit a shot and it went over Gianluca Pagliuca, who was the Italian goalkeeper at the time. And I think I used to watch, I think I know the names because I used to watch Football Italia or something like that, which was on a Saturday morning in the UK. So I used to watch the Italian League football and the English League football. So yeah, the road to World Cup 1994, I think I'm going to... The problem with England is that they never really did very well. So yeah, it's something that when you try and remember if they were in a particular World Cup, they didn't get to like the final or anything. They might have lost in like the last 16, or sometimes even in the group stage, and sometimes not qualified at all. But yeah, I just remember that goal, and yeah, I wouldn't have been particularly old, only kind of 11, and I think I was just starting to maybe get into football. So that's why I just remember that goal, not an England goal, but a goal for Republic of Ireland. And when I was then kind of 12 and 13 and 14, then I started to get into it more. And then, yeah, when I went to watch the World Cup in 1998, it meant that I had obviously more memories of it. Hang on, it's the Road to World Cup 1998. Not 1994, 1994, FIFA 94, that was FIFA International Soccer. That was the first football game that was released by FIFA. So, there you go. My memory was rather failing me there. It's been a very long time. But, yeah, 1998, that's what it's, that Road to World Cup. So it means England must have qualified. And I'm wondering if that was the World Cup where we had David Beckham, who got sent off, red card, unfortunately, against Argentina. Michael Owen scored like a wonder goal where he ran from the halfway line. And then we lost on penalties, which is always the way with England, or at least it used to be. We've actually won a couple of penalty shootouts recently. Anyway, I'm sure that yeah, everyone is wishing that Orlando didn't ask that question about the FIFA World Cup. But, right, Howard says, Phil, why do you have that t-shirt? I don't know why I have this t-shirt. Exactly the same reason as well, maybe you don't know what it is. I have worn this before, but maybe it's been a while. So this is Fratelli's family restaurant. I don't know whether you can see it or not, but it is written there, and it shows what they do underneath, the kind of meals and things that they do offer. So if you don't know what this is all about, it's one of those 1980s type t-shirts, which all of mine pretty much are, unless they're band related. And on the t-shirt, it's not particularly obvious if you've seen the movie. So anyway, this is from The Goonies, which is like an 80s movie that, yeah, I like quite a lot. And in my studio room, you'll see in the background, I've got the key from The Goonies, or at least a kind of replica of it, that was sent to me, which was great. And that was from a store where they filmed the movie. So yeah, you might be able to see here, like it's since, what is it, 1985. I can't really see it because I'm wearing the shirt, and yeah, it's going to be right underneath my chin, but I think it says 1985. And yeah, it has like what they do, which in the movie, because the kids go into the Fratelli's restaurant. It isn't really a restaurant. The Fratelli's are, no spoilers here. If you haven't seen The Goonies, then yeah, just put your fingers in your ears, but then go and watch it after the live stream or at some point, because it's a very enjoyable movie. Right, the Fratellis were like the baddies, and it was two brothers and their mum, and the Goonies, which are like the kids, their little, you know, I would say gang, but it's not really a gang, but they're like adventurers. There's like a few of them that kind of stick together, and they're trying to find this treasure, and it leads them to this hut where it looks like a restaurant, but it's really, you know, run down. So they go into this place trying to find or follow their map for this treasure, and then they bump into the Fratellis, who are the baddies, and the Fratellis, or the mum, pretends that it's a restaurant to try and throw the kids off the fact that there's like a dead body in the freezer, and yeah, bad stuff going on. So yeah, the kids are very nervous, and they order waters, and when it was Mouth, the name of the character, who's like a bit of a cocky kid, he asked for a particular meal, and yeah, I can't remember what it was, but it's very over the top. So the mum grabbed Mouth and squeezed his mouth together so that his tongue poked out, and she says, we do serve tongue, like that. And obviously it's scaring the kids. So that's why it's on this shirt. But yeah, it's just a Goonies related t-shirt. I've got, I think, well, I've got two other Goonies t-shirts, but one of them's in grey, one of them's in black, and I think I might have actually two of the same t-shirt in black. So yeah, I don't know how that's happened. But anyway, yeah, that's the t-shirt for tonight. Right, now, let's see. Johnny B. Good donated 100 Norwegian kroner, so thank you for that. And the message is, happy birthday. Oh, this is going to be from last week. It was my birthday, but thank you for that. And the message is, footballs are not round. Yes, indeed they are. Where I come from, and the game football was a game that was invented in England, and the ball is indeed round. I know that particular name for a game has been used then, after the fact, in other countries, where they call it football, but you use your hands. So it is a bit of a contradiction as to what the original game was, but it might have just got lost in translation. It could have even been with rugby, who knows? Because with rugby, that all started because somebody picked up a football and started running with it, because maybe they couldn't, or they weren't particularly good at football, so just got annoyed with having to use your feet and picked it up and started running. So yeah, rugby is called, yeah, not football, and it's not even called like egg-shaped ball, it's just called rugby. So that might have then gone over the water, and then people turned that into American football. We call it American football here for obvious reasons, but yeah, just the fact that the game is called football and you're using your hands, and I think the kicking part of it is a minimal part of the game, so it should really be called handball. But then there's another game that's called handball, so then they've taken that. So yeah, it's definitely around here in the UK, football. Right, now let's try to keep things moving along with the PayPal window, because I haven't jumped into there yet. So thank you guys for these donations, and it might take a little bit longer tonight because I'm just scrolling through with my mouse. I have to scroll down to see if there's a message with a particular donation. So this donation comes from Philip, so thank you for that, and it's for £5. So thank you for that, Philip. And there's another one that's come through, and this is from Bruce. So thank you for this, Bruce. It's a donation of £4. And next we had a donation from Paul, who's donated $5.25, and I know exactly what this refers to, because we have indeed hit 525,000 subscribers. I think that's correct. But yeah, it's a bit of a crazy number. So thank you everyone for subscribing and yeah, leaving comments, interacting with the videos, hitting the thumbs up and all of that cool stuff. It is very much appreciated. And yeah, we'll keep on pushing forward and see where we end up. But certainly 525,000 is a very good place to be. So thank you everyone for watching. And thank you, Paul, for that donation. And let me just scroll down to see the message, which is Phil, on 525,000 subscribers. Have fun tonight. All y'all. Peace, love, and rock. Catch up crew for me tonight. So thank you for that, Paul. And Cindy has donated £30 as well. Thank you for that, Cindy. And the message is, do you have a favourite type of fill jam? What makes it the most fun for you? So thank you for that. I'm not sure, like, if I'm thinking about all the fill jams, then yeah, I can't remember them individually, because what happens is I just play over the top of whatever it happens to be, and that's it. Like the only reason that I'll watch a fill jam back is if there were any audio issues, to try and hear for the future what I might need to change. So I think recently the audio's been fine and nobody's been saying, oh, we can't hear the guitar or the backing track's too loud or anything like that. So yeah, I just play and then that's it. So when I move on to the next fill jam, I just play over whatever that sound is. And I mean, it's always, I guess, more in my style if it's maybe rock or hard rock or, you know, blues, something like that. But I don't really have well, I can't remember them to have a favourite. But also, because I'm not really logging any of it in my mind, then yeah, if some of them were to repeat, I probably wouldn't remember them from the previous fill jams, because we've had so many fill jams, and yeah, I'm not even sure how many we have had, but I could check, because I would have to try and find the message part over on Patreon, because I'm a little bit unprepared for this. And oh, it is fill jam number 320. So I guess that's the issue, is that I've done 319 of them, and trying to remember what those 319 went like. You know, like say for example, picking out number 127, I wouldn't have a clue what that was. But yeah, we just roll with it, and whichever one happens to pop up that Joe sends along, we have a go at playing over the top, and that's what the fill jams are. So yeah, my favourites, I can't name any, but in terms of style, would probably have to be in that kind of rock area, rock and blues. So right, let's see what we've got going in, or on, what's going on in the live chat room. And oh, Dwayne says it would be cool if Phil would do a duet with Cena drums and cover the Procol Harum Robin Trow's song, Whiskey Train. So thank you for that. And yeah, I have done a collaboration with Cena in the past on the channel. Sometimes that particular video is requested for the live streams, and that was the Bon Jovi classic, You Give Love a Bad Name. That's what we collaborated on. So it means that Cena was doing the drums, and then I was doing everything else. But yeah, that can be seen on my channel somewhere. So thank you for that. And let's see. Oh, we've had another donation in the super chat window, but the capture screen for the likeometer is kind of in the way, but I can see I'm gonna have to move it out of the way. It's Orlando's donated $5, so thank you for that. And the message is, with the death of Chuck Negron, a month or two ago. Have you ever listened to Three Dog Night? So thank you for that. And yeah, I mean, I wouldn't know. I would have to say that Chuck's name doesn't strike me instantly, but then Three Dog Night I know that I've listened to in the past, but not one of those bands that I know very well. It's something that, I don't know, maybe if I heard a song then I would recognize it, but certainly not a band that I've listened to when I was, growing up, or even when I got into kind of heavier genres of music and kind of that 80s hard rock. So yeah, it might be something that I'll have to jump into. But yeah, thank you for that, Orlando. I mean, every now and again there will be a band that, I mean, and not saying that this is the case with Three Dog Night, but I feel like it's maybe a band that falls almost in the wheelhouse of what I was into and am into. It's kind of on that periphery of bands that I might not have heard of because of getting into the whole kind of Van Halen and Steve Vai, Joe Satriani, and kind of guitarists that, and with Winger that I always mention, and Red Beach, and Dokken, and George Lynch, all these different players, kind of the hard rock players that I got into when I was younger. I don't think that Three Dog Night made it into that. Well, it definitely didn't as a band, because I would know them more intimately. But anyway, thank you for that, Orlando. And let's now just make sure that everything is up to date in the PayPal window. It's a bit annoying that it's not kind of displaying as it normally does, but I think we got through everything in the PayPal window. So thank you guys for those donations. They are very much appreciated. We're up to date in the PayPal window and the Super Chat window. Now, I mean, recently on the channel, actually, I'll just give a quick plug of the interview that I had over on Justin Hawkins' channel. You guys can check that out if you want. And I think that the address, or should I say the link for that particular video, is in the last live stream's description. So you can find it there, but you'll also be able to visit Justin's YouTube channel, which is called Justin Hawkins Rides Again. And yeah, we're chatting about lots of different things over there. So that was great to chat with Justin. So that was uploaded relatively recently. Was it last week? I can't remember. So now, as for the videos that we've been having on the channel recently, we've had a couple of videos from, first of all, The Voice, and then The Voice Kids. So the first one was The Voice in Norway, and then the second one was The Voice Kids, which was, I think, in Germany. And yeah, what was so crazy about those particular videos, and actually quite a lot of people have watched that first one just on The Voice in Norway, is that they're tuning the adults' voices, and even when they have this is what's a bit crazy to me, that they have their duals. So it's like one person singing kind of against another person, but both of their voices are tuned. So just, it does seem a bit mental to me that on a show like The Voice, they'd be tuning the voice so that you're not actually hearing the voice. Secondly, the video that I did on The Voice Kids, which is the kids version of The Voice that was in Germany, that was a video that I made quite a while ago, and it was something that I was asked to do by a reporter over in Germany, and they wanted to show that the show wasn't being honest with what they were doing, because the reporter asked them, the show, The Voice, and I guess the producers, the production team, whether they tune any vocals on their show, and they categorically denied it. So this is why I was asked to make that analysis video, to show that not only is the child's voice calibrated to A440, which is easy to show on a graph, and I think, yeah, the people working on the voice don't realize this, but then the kid, who was, I think, maybe like 8 years old, could even be younger than that, was more accurate than Whitney Houston and the song that she was singing, that the kid was singing. From a vocal accuracy perspective, she was massively more accurate than Whitney Houston, which it doesn't stack up. And I did ask in that video, if you're more accurate than the original vocalist, why doesn't it sound better? And it doesn't sound better because of the voice being manipulated. It's not something that's natural. It's not a natural ability of the vocalist, whereas when you're hearing somebody like Whitney Houston, her voice had such expression in it, and it wasn't tuned. It was just, yeah, they might do a few takes in the studio and then pick the best ones, or the ones that they kind of like the sound of the most. But yeah, it was never something that was corrected digitally, so then creating a new audio file. But that's exactly what's happening with, yeah, the voice kids, unfortunately. Now, with that particular story, this has happened multiple times in the past with myself and media outlets, is that they approach me and maybe want to do a story and ask if they can use my video and refer to the video, and yeah, that they go through the whole thing. And with the media articles, they have to then contact, or generally they do contact the show, or whatever I've had a look at and pointed out about tuning going on that isn't disclosed. They then ask that particular production team, or whatever, if it is the voice, for their comment. So they put that then into their article. And it means that now the company and the voice, for example, are aware of this story that's about to be broken, and then they get involved, and generally lawyers then get involved, and they start to, yeah, I guess, show their muscle against what might be a small news company or news reporting company that doesn't have a lot of money, and they are threatened by lawyers, and they don't have the money to actually see things go to court. But if they did go to court, of course what they're stating is an absolute fact, so it would probably be thrown out anyway, or it would be a very quick court case. But just going through that process, they didn't want to go through all that hassle. So yeah, I just did what I was asked, and then they made that decision. That's happened again in the past with a lot more well-known artist, and yeah, somebody who has made kind of billions touring. So yeah, the only other story that we had was over Christmas, where I wasn't actually consulted about it at all. All I did was get people linking me to the fact that I was in a newspaper, and somebody was just, the reporter was saying about a particular singer, how they weren't singing live at Christmas, and that's just an analysis video that I was asked to look at, where I point out it's exactly the same vocal as on the recording that was released, I don't know, maybe 12 years earlier or something like that. So we just matched audio files, but then a reporter took my analysis video, my findings, and then kind of broke that as a story, and did mention that I did an analysis video, but yeah, I wasn't consulted on that at all. But what was interesting is that in this particular case, the show that was broadcast on the BBC, they said that the BBC said that they weren't aware there was any tuning until they were made aware of the story and my analysis video. But then the production company who created the show, they said that yes, it wasn't even tuning, it was lip syncing, it was miming. So there you go. So the production company said that the artist did lip sync or mime because they had technical issues or something on the night, which I did follow-up videos to say that on the night they had multiple acts singing live. It's just this particular one that was lip-synced or mimed. So yeah, I mean, that's the first time that a production company has actually come out and admitted that Oh yeah, no, we did do that. We did lip sync or mime, and yeah, the analysis on the internet done by that person is indeed correct. So yeah, that's great to have that backed up. But it's interesting that the one story that I wasn't consulted about or consulted on, talked to about, that story went straight to national press. And the other ones where they've contacted me quite a lot over, maybe multiple weeks, those ones never really generated into a story. But anyway, that was that. Always interesting for shows when it's called The Voice. I think a lot of people aren't aware that this happens, because some people that comment underneath the video, they say, oh, so, a TV talent show isn't being truthful. What a shock. And they say that kind of stuff as if everyone knows that on a talent show, the talent isn't actually the talent. You're not even listening to their voices. It's the post-produced voice that you're listening to, which has been edited by a producer. But I don't think a lot of people, that's the reason that people ask me to look at these performances, is because they don't realize that how much isn't what it seems. So, anyway, we've had a couple more donations. So thank you for this. And it is Orlando again. And there's a $5 donation saying Chat Negron sang on Three Dog Night's biggest hit, Joy to the World, and Mama Told Me Not to Come are two of them. Just some food for thought. So thank you for that. And yeah, okay. Well, Mama Told Me Not to Come, definitely, and Joy to the World, definitely at about 75% of Mama Told Me Not to Come. So I do know the songs, and I guess it's just making that link of knowing a song, hearing it regularly, but never actually knowing the band or the artist that might do that particular song. So 171 Race Car donated $20 as well. Thank you for that. And the message is Three Dog Night made Argent's /Russ Ballard's song Liar a big hit. So thank you for that as well. So yeah, it might be the case that I know many of their songs, or at least multiple songs here. And yeah, I just haven't made that connection with Three Dog Night. So thank you for that and for letting me know. Right, we are maybe going to jump into the super... No, we are in the super chat window, but I think we're up to date there. So we'll jump into, well, getting the likeometer up on screen. If we go to the stream settings, which again we have to change. Okay, so the likeometer has disappeared a little bit, but I can see on my screen, you might be able to see on your screens as well, we are at 271 likes. So we are looking for, 29 more people to hit the thumbs up, and then we will have a Phil Jam at the end of the live stream, which is coming up soon. We're just approaching what is quarter to midnight here. So a little bit of time to go still, and I'm not sure how long it was. Was it about 6 minutes or 7 minutes for this particular backing track? 6 minutes and 27 seconds. So we will make sure that we leave enough room at the end of the live stream for that. Now, let me just click on that and now get organized. Oh, the other thing is we have, the Taj Farrant show is happening on the 3rd of May. So that is fast approaching, and I do have a picture somewhere that I can show up on screen. I don't know whether this is going to totally fill the screen. It might fill the screen or it might not. Let's have a look. Oh, it did. Oh, it came and then it went, and now it's back again. So this is it. It is myself and Taj, and it says Taj Farrant welcomes Phil Henley, that's me, from Wings of Pegasus. And I wonder if I can actually move this live on the air. And it says live at the garage, London, Sunday, May 3rd, 7 p.m. And for tickets, you can see that I'm manually moving this, so it's not very professional. For tickets, you go to tajfarron.com/shows. So that is something that's going to be kicking off very soon. As for exactly what's going to be kicking off, I'm not really sure, because Taj and I, we spoke recently, and the interview, or at least the first part of that interview, is on the channel. I'll release the second part of that, obviously, before we get to the show on the 3rd of May. But as for what's going to be going down, we don't really know yet. We're just going to take our guitars along and just see what happens. But I might chat to Taj beforehand, just to make sure that we're not doing totally different things. But that'll be a bit of a laugh as well, because I think Taj and myself are very much, I don't know, along the similar, we have very similar thoughts and maybe similar ways of playing, that you just kind of play and see what happens, and it's not necessarily, especially when you're kind of jamming, not necessarily something that's going to be pre-worked out, or, you know, us sitting there for hours and working out harmony lines with each other. It's just going to be something that we'll be most likely shooting from the hip, and yeah, just seeing what happens. So if you can turn up to that, it'd be great to see you, because that's where I will be, and I will try to get some kind of footage from the show, and maybe some pictures. So yeah, we will have to see. Now, I can see that Johnny Be Good is going through with another donation, so let me get rid of the likeometer, because that is going to disappear by the time we get to see the super chat window. And Johnny Be Good has donated 20 Norwegian kroner again, so thank you for that. And the message is, can you improvise on a blues harp tonight? I would love to improvise on a blues harp, but I just have my guitar, so we're just going to have to deal with that at the moment. Or we could do, well, you know, when you get the bow for like a violin. I say, you know, when you get, it's not something that normally happens on the guitar. Did I see this? I might have seen this in a Whitesnake video. Was it maybe on Is This Love? I don't know. But a guitarist playing his guitar with a bow, but then I think it might also be a Spinal Tap thing, where there's a particular solo or playing live. He gets out a bow, and yeah, he's playing the guitar with, he's playing the guitar with a bow, and he's got two violins that he's strumming with his feet and kind of just kicking them during a guitar solo. So there you go. As much as I'd love to do that kind of thing, you know, with a harp or a violin, it's not going to be happening. We're just going to be using a guitar, but it'd be very entertaining. So, right now, Orlando says NOK Norwegian kroner. So that is what I have been saying. Maybe some people haven't been, or haven't, maybe. Oh, Still of the Night. That is, oh yeah, there we go. Where you've got the Still of the Night. There's kind of a breakdown. If you don't know that song, it's a Whitesnake classic. So yeah, it's quite a long song. Got a breakdown there where you have that kind of string section. I think it's probably more of a kind of strings and keys thing, rather than just solely you know, an orchestra or a violin section that are doing something. So then it kind of breaks down, gradually builds to then epic scream by Mr. Coverdale himself, leading into just a face-melting solo. Everything goes crazy. So yeah, I am a fan of that particular tune. But it must have been that video that I was seeing from Still of the Night, and not Is This Love. But I guess with Is This Love, maybe you could do it, but certainly it's not as dramatic as that part of Still of the Night. So that's probably why they did it. So, right. Now, Johnny Be Good says Coverdale is good. So, yes, he is and / was because he announced his retirement relatively recently. So yeah, he's one of those singers that's had an amazing career, and he's now reached the point where he's just saying, look, that's it, I'm going to hang up the vocal cords, as it were. And this is a point of debate that a lot of people have about particular bands, artists, singers, whether they continue to perform or whether they decide to retire, and it's always dependent on how the artist feels about their voice and whether they want to continue, or then, like recently Robert Plant we had a look at, and he is now singing kind of in a lower range, but still, singing fully live, performing fully live, and not using, auto-tune or anything like that, or miming or lip syncing. And it's just his genuine voice that he is using. And yeah, with David Coverdale, it just, I guess, just reached the point where he thought, right, I've done what I've done, and that's it, and that's his body of work, and he's going to leave it as that. And I think people do respect that. And the same thing with Steven Tyler, when he said that Aerosmith weren't going to tour again because his vocal surgery didn't go as they were hoping, and he didn't feel like he could do the songs justice with his voice as it was. So again, I think fans do respect that a lot. So David, that kind of falls into that kind of bracket, but I know that a lot of people will be talking about John Bon Jovi as well, and his vocals and his tour that he's doing. And I mentioned that in a video recently as well about I think there's nothing wrong with just changing the songs, putting a different spin on them, so that wherever you are vocally, it kind of suits maybe a new arrangement of the song, changing the key. But yeah, everyone's entitled to do whatever they want to do. That is, their artistic license, and yeah, everyone's artistic right. I don't know. Oh, I think I just scratched the microphone there, so apologies if that suddenly got really loud. But the other thing about Steven Tyler actually is that he announced that Aerosmith wouldn't be touring, and everyone was really disappointed. Or should I say that Aerosmith wouldn't be touring in the future, like as a definite thing, and people were very disappointed. But then I've seen him at a couple of performances, because at the Back to the Beginning show he sang, and then the tribute show he sang as well. And I looked at that performance with Youngblood, because Youngblood was using auto-tune on that performance, but Steven was singing fully live. So his vocal was still really impressive, but it just goes to show that to everyone else it's still really impressive, but for him, he still thinks it's not in a comfortable place where he's confident with it. So yeah, that's absolutely his right to say, look, I want to be performing at 100% and not kind of giving the fans like 75%, knowing that he can't kind of deliver. So I still thought that he was really impressive vocally, especially considering it was fully live and he wasn't using any assistance. So a 171 race car donated $10 and said, Jimmy Page of Led Zeppelin, known for playing guitar with a bow. So thank you for that. And yes, that's another one that we can kind of add to the list of the guitar bow players. I guess the problem is that when you've seen Spinal Tap, it's really difficult to kind of forget that image of kind of playing a guitar solo and having two violins and playing them with the feet, but also using it was more of an action of kind of going down on the guitar. He didn't kind of hold the guitar up like a violin. It's just going over the strings. But yeah, very entertaining to watch, but that's what Spinal Tap's all about. So, all right, we need to, it's 5 to midnight, we need to run along and move into the cover video for tonight. I'm just trying to see where we are. Okay, Power of Love, The Power of Love, has 60% of the vote. So I'm going to bring this to a close because I don't think that's going to change anytime soon. So that was up against Parisian Walkways, by the way, something I didn't even mention at the beginning of the live stream. I don't think I did. At the bottom of the live chat room, we always have a vote for tonight's or the live stream's cover video, and it's going to be The Power of Love, and this is the Huey Lewis and the News version, which you should expect really from myself, being a huge fan of Back to the Future and the Back to the Future movie franchise. So I hope you guys enjoy this, and I'll see you after. Rock! And there we have it. That was my version of the Huey Lewis and the News classic, The Power of Love. So I hope you guys enjoyed that one. And I think I did see a comment or two saying that we had reached the likes goal. So let's see what's going on there, because we are at 307 likes so far. We are going to be busting out the guitar for a Phil Jam was going to say a little bit later on, but the fill jam is what, 6 or 7 minutes in length, so it means we've probably got about 6 minutes and then we can jump into it. So thank you everyone for hitting the thumbs up and ensuring that we do bust out the guitar and have a fill jam for tonight. Now, oh, Melody Rock says, Phil, where do you film your videos? While you rewire your studio. So thank you for that. And the rewiring that I'm doing is, I mean, it doesn't really matter too much when I'm doing the analysis videos because it's not a live thing. It just means that, yeah, I get the camera, put it on top of the monitor, and yeah, just plug in. But when I'm doing things live, like I'm doing here on a live stream, it's a totally different setup in order to get everything kind of synchronized and working together. As I have here, it means that I've got the interface going into my laptop, and I've also got the Mugabe, as you guys know, and I've got another kind of USB adapter that I'm using. So there's a lot of stuff that I'm putting together for while I'm reorganizing things. The setup that I've got here is great and it's working and it's fine. But if I'm now trying to get back into the studio, I'm going to need, or the studio room, I'm going to need to get everything organized and retest it all, because the analysis videos are very easy for me to record because everything that I've got, it's not so much doing the wiring that's required for that, because it's all pretty much ready. But when I'm doing the live streams, yeah, I've still got stuff to organize and other things to implement. I would really like, I don't think it's going to happen. It doesn't seem to be something that I'll be able to achieve. But when I get back to the studio room, I'm hoping that I'm going to sort out this latency issue. But the crazy thing is that even though I'm doing exactly the same thing, this is what I don't understand, that because I've got everything, you know, set up with this laptop, this works, as in playing the guitar, hearing the backing track, and what I'm playing is in time with the backing track, and I'm hearing it in time, and then you hear it in time across the internet. So that is something that works and is obviously a lot easier to do the fill jams like this, even though I'm listening to it all through a laptop. So it's not particularly clear, but just the timing is correct. Whereas, yeah, with my other computer, I'm not sure whether when I'm rewiring things and maybe troubleshooting to try and find where the problem is, that I'll be able to sort it out to make it into a lot easier setup. So that's something that, yeah, I will find out. I mean, with the other live stream setups, I was using my Mac Studio and the laptop. So the laptop was for the fill jam, the backing track. So it meant I was doing a lot of juggling, and yeah, with all the juggling that was going on, wires were going everywhere, and when I'm wanting to do the fill jams and get everything heard, that all takes a lot more than just me looking at a monitor. Like the analysis videos, I'm looking at my monitor and talking into a microphone, and that microphone is just one input. So yeah, it's a lot more straightforward, but I will get it sorted by the end of the month. I don't know whether I'll be able to sort out the latency issue, but I will get everything wired and the live stream set up again before the end of the month. So yeah, we will do that. The problem is just kind of having the time to do it, because yeah, everything always kicks off at the same time, and having so many projects kind of on the go at the same time, yeah, it's very, very difficult to say, right, I think I'm just going to set that deadline of the end of the month, and I'll find some time to do it. So talking about other projects, make sure that you check out the @official Authentic Vocal channel here on YouTube, and the Authentic Vocal Patreon if you want to get involved over there. And you guys that are involved over there, thank you for all of your support. And I mean, we'll be getting into the BBC introducing performances in the near future as well, because that's something that Dan's going to be, Dan Bridge, who's the sound guy for BBC introducing in Sussex and Surrey, he's going to be sending me kind of videos and sometimes just raw audio from live performances that were happening there. And when I mentioned earlier tonight in the live stream about the article that was released about a show that was on the BBC, you don't have to worry about the BBC and their record for things being live or not live, because I'm independent of them. So it means that if something isn't live, or if it is, you know, something that they're not saying it is, then I will let you guys know. I'll let everybody know on Authentic Vocal. So yeah, don't be worried about when I say BBC introducing. It's very much about featuring grassroots music and unsigned bands. It's not something that is going to be manipulated in any way, because I'm you know, involved with it, not only involved with it, but I'm kind of running the show in Authentic Vocal, so only authentic vocals will be well featured and focused on that particular channel, and the Instagram and all the other places, and on Patreon as well. So right, let's now, I'm just going to get the licometer off the screen. Again, it's a bit annoying that we have to do things this way. And Jennifer donated $5 and said, Phil, dumb question. Would playing a guitar with a bow be bad for the strings? I need to move this out of the way. Also, should there be an age limit for kids in music business? So first of all, no, it's not going to be bad for the strings. It's probably worse for the bow, because strings are, you know, metal. So, do we just get a thumbs down for some reason? Now that was, we've still got these things on. Because I'm using the laptop, we've still got these emoticon thingies. What did I just do? Like thumbs up gives a thumbs up. Did a thumbs down? What was the thumbs down? Was that a thumbs down? Thumbs down. I didn't just do that, did I? Oh, and now I'm getting rained on. So it's just gone from bad to worse. So, surely the thumbs down is like that. Surely. Do you have to point your thumb down? What did I do that made the thumbs down happen? Let's not lose any sleep over this. Right. So at least we know that those things are available. And for rain, 2 thumbs down. Have I ever done that before? Who knows? So, right. And yeah, so these settings were on for my birthday, but I didn't even realize it. So I could have like done the celebration. I don't think that this, like fireworks for 2 thumbs up, I don't think like 2 thumbs up should be a thumbs up, or maybe just 2 thumbs up on screen. So yeah, I don't fully agree with that as to why we get fireworks, but then how would you set off fireworks if you wanted to have them? Who knows? Right, we are going to be jumping into the Phil Jam. We've got to be getting into this. I feel like I've forgotten to do something. But answer that question. Should there be an age limit for kids in the music business? I think when you're talking about talent shows, it's really difficult because the kid, I think, has to want to do it, but that's like the parents' call. Sometimes parents will just push their kids into things, and this happens all over the world, has done since the beginning of time, that kids might not necessarily want to do something, so the parents push the kids into it, and I'm not a fan of that, especially when you're looking at, you know, a really technically advanced guitarist, you know, or kid who's maybe 5 years old or 4 years old, and it's definitely not something that they are doing themselves. They're not working out all of these things like scales and different picking patterns. They're being told to do that by a parent, and I think that when I was teaching guitar, I would teach kids from the age of 9 upwards. So I think when they're 7 or 8 or 9, they start to get a bit of a vibe for what they want to do. If they really want to play guitar, then they can start pursuing that. But yeah, when we start talking about kids that are 3 and 4 and 5, I think that's more of a parent's thing, unfortunately. But yeah, that's something that will always happen. Unfortunately, it's just the way of the world. We are going to be jumping into tonight's Phil Jam. And I mean, like I've already said, I'm listening to this through a laptop, so it's potentially going to be a bit of a disaster, but that's what live music is all about, a disaster, or at least trying to manage the disaster so it doesn't become too much of a disaster. Right, let's get this microphone out of the way and pop this on here. I feel either, well, we're going to have to use the red dude. Where is he? There he is appearing. How far out can I go? Can I go out again? No, that's it. Right, so, oh, it looks like we're a little bit low. I'm going to try and fold my legs, move the guitar up a little bit higher so that you can see it, and then we'll see how it sounds. Now, let's see if we can get this. Okay, right, I can hear that on the laptop, but it's not very loud. Let's try it again. Okay, right, something's going on there. Now, let's jump into this, which is a rock pop backing track jam in G major, 80 BPM, beats per minute for those tempo fanatics. Guitar backing track. I think that says it's too small on my screen to see all of this. A guitar backing track, and this is from Amplified Jam Tracks. So there you go. Let's play this. Hopefully you can hear it. Hopefully I can hear it. Let's be quiet. Can you hear this? Is this coming through? left, a minute and a half. Oh, advert! Skip. Oh, and fade out ending. Can't really do much about that, unfortunately, ladies and gentlemen. So there we have it. That was the Fill Jam for tonight, and that was rock pop backing track jam in G major, 80 BPM guitar backing track. So thank you, Joe, for sending that my way, and that comes from Amplified Jam Tracks on YouTube. So that was that. Let's turn this down, and at least we had a fill jam for tonight, busted out the guitar. I am going to be here with another video, analysis video tomorrow night, so look out for that one. Thank you guys for joining me. If you're watching this in the future on catch up, you can keep on hitting the thumbs up. Really does help this live stream to get out there a little bit more, and for the channel to grow on the whole. So yeah, all that's left for me to say, well, first of all, I'm just going to check that we're up to date with everything, because now all that's left for me to say is try to stay as safe and as sane as possible in this crazy world in which we live. Have a fantastic rest of your weekend, and if you could join me on Tuesday night, that would be very much appreciated as well. I will be live streaming at 11 p.m. BST, British summertime now. So yeah, check the time in Google, just type time in London, England, and then you'll be able to find what time it is where you are. But, oh, Kyria Layson has just donated $2 and says, lovely, thank you. So thank you for that. But yeah, all that's left for me to say is try to stay as safe and as sane as possible in this crazy world in which we live. And yeah, hopefully I will see you on Tuesday, and I can see that Orlando just donated $2. It says, great job, thank you, Phil, bye all. So thank you for that as well. And I am now, oh, Johnny B. Good just donated 20 Norwegian kroner and says, cool. So thank you for that as well. But I am going to be calling things to a close. And Kevin says, you have to do a follow-up with Justin Hawkins. The last interview was awesome. So thank you for that. And yeah, Justin will, at some point in the future, we have said we'll do something again together. And it's most likely going to be on my channel. So we'll have Justin on. We'll have a chat about lots of different things. All the things that we didn't have time to chat about the first time, even though we spent a very long time talking. But right. So yeah. Try to stay as safe and as sane as possible in this crazy world in which we live. Have a fantastic rest of your weekend. I'll see you at tomorrow night's video. Rock!